Hi everyone, and a big welcome back to this third video, this third yoga video. My name's Carly, just to remind you, and I'm delighted that you're joining me again to do some yoga with me. So last time we explored flexibility, didn't we? And we did some poses that help us to be more flexible, particularly in our spine, because our spines can get very stiff and rigid, and the more we can do to make them nice and flexible, the better. So today's class, we're going to be focusing on balance. So the first class, we did some balancing poses, and we're going to expand on that. We'll do some of the ones we learnt in the first lesson, and we're going to do a few more. So balancing is a really good tool to help with our concentrations. Concentration is a really important tool to have. It's really important to be able to concentrate. So when we balance, we need to be focused, don't we? We need to concentrate, because if we don't, we're going to fall over. So we're going to do some balancing poses that help us to really focus and also to be in the moment. If you're balancing and you start thinking about other things, if your mind is all over the place, then it's hard for your body to balance. So balancing poses also really help us to be in the present and therefore be really focused and concentrating. So as normal, we will do our warm-up. Then we're going to do our balancing poses, and then we get to relax at the end. So let's start by warming up our bodies. We're going to do the sun salutations that we did previously in the last two classes, and I'm going to add in a new little warm-up, which I learned myself actually. So I'd like to share that with you. So let's get to the mats. Okay, so we're going to start with our sun salutations before I show you the new one. So you know what to do now. You're coming to the top of your mat, standing up tall, and just start by taking some deep breaths to settle the body, to get yourself ready. So deep breaths in and deep breaths out. And off we go. As you breathe in, reach up high, and then bend down low to tickle your toes. Trying to get the hands to the ground. If you can't, that's fine. You can bend your knees. And as we next breathe in, you come up to your fingertips, looking forward, trying to get a nice straight back. And as you breathe out, you're going to step back into a downward facing dog. So stretching out. Maybe while you're here, you can spend one knee, then the other. Stretching out your legs. Lovely. And now coming forward into plank pose. Just holding it for a moment, strong and steady. And then your knees go down, your feet go down. And now your chest. On your next in-breath, push into the hands, peel your chest up. This is upward facing dog. You're looking at the ceiling. And then we tuck our toes to push ourselves back to downward facing dog. Again, a quick walk out of the legs here, helping us to loosen up. Taking deep breaths. And then looking between your hands and stepping one of your feet forward into a lunge. Good. And then the back foot comes forward. And we breathe in to come up, and then hands by our sides. And again, not rushing to do the other side yet, just taking some deep breaths. And now you can sort of straighten up your clothes and get yourself ready. And let's begin on the other side. So breathe in, reach up tall. Breathing out, bending low, tickling your toes. Good, and then coming onto the tips of your fingers as you next breathe in, looking forward, straightening the back. Lovely, and then coming back to your downward facing dog. Pushing into the hands, trying to get a flat back. And then tipping forward, the weight goes forward into plank, holding it for 1, 2, and then knees down, feet go down, and chest down. Take a big breath in, push into the hands, peel up into upward facing dog. Make sure your legs are switched on and strong. Toes are pointed. And then tucking your toes to push back into downward facing dog. And the place you're looking at, we call it your drishti, remember, is between your feet, just below the belly button, so looking down onto the mat. Or just between your feet. And then this time stepping the other foot forward, look forward, big step forward into that lunge. Stay here for a moment, just really stretching out the legs, and then step forward. Fantastic. Now breathe in to come up, stretch up, 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 and breathe out, hands by your side. Good. So you can probably feel the heart going a bit faster. I know I can. That's great because that's what we want. Now I'm going to show you this new warm-up that I've just learned and I really like it. So you're going to put your hands out like this. So your elbows are bent, your hands are up as if you're going to wave. And all we're going to do is breathe in and twist one way and then breathe out, twist the other way. And we're going to start to get a bit faster. So breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out, and now do it at your own pace. So every time you breathe in, twist and twist as you breathe out. Just do this a few times. Twisting and timing it with your breath. And then stop. Okay, hands can go down for a bit. Maybe put them up high, give them all shake all the way down. Wiggle your shoulders and stop. So we're going to do the same again, but the only difference is when we put our hands up, we're going to go the opposite way. So first time I went this way when I breathed in, I'm going to go the other way when I breathe in and breathe out the other way. So just swap around this time, okay? So off we go, breathing in and twist, breathe out and twist, breathe in, twist, breathe out. And now your normal pattern of breathing, so quite fast, breathe in, breathe out. Getting quite fast. Good, and stop. Oh, so that really got me warmed up. So give yourself a shake again, maybe even shake your legs, shake your shoulders, shake your arms, shake your head. Excellent. Right, come down to the mat now, guys. We're going to do a bit of a warm up for our spines. We did this before, which is cat and cow. So you're doing the movement of dropping the belly and looking at the ceiling and then arching your back. So get yourself all set up on all fours. So wrists are below your shoulders, knees are below your hips, so you look like a nice straight table. And as you breathe in, I want you to drop your belly and look up at the ceiling. As you breathe out, rounding your spine, pushing into your hands. This is cat pose. Now, remember, I'm breathing in, you go moo into cow pose, moo. Drop the belly, very good. And then breathe out into your cat pose. Breathing in to come into cow. And last time into cat, breathing out, pushing into your hands, arching the back. And then you can just push back into child's pose, which is pushing your bottom towards your heels, head to the floor, and relax for a few moments. Taking some deep breaths. And then coming back to all fours. So I mentioned balancing, didn't I? So this is your first balancing challenge. And this is tiger pose. So what you're going to do is get yourself all set up, feeling really solid. And then you're just going to, you can watch me if you like the first time on one side, is you're going to put your leg back. Choose a leg, put it back. And then when you feel really steady, you're going to lift that leg off the floor. And this is where the balancing comes in. You're going to lift your opposite hand off the floor. Okay, head is looking down. I'm just looking at you, but you're going to have your head down. Hold it, and then coming back. Whatever you do, don't try and do the same leg and the same arm, because that is going to be almost impossible. If I try and do that, oh, I'm going to fall over. So don't do that. All right, so we're going to do that on both sides, and then I'm going to add an extra challenge. So let's go. Choosing which leg's going to go out straight. Start by just straightening it, testing your balance. Then lift it. See how you get on. And then lift the opposite arm straight out in front of you. Trying to make a lovely long line. So someone's pulling your toes, someone's pulling your fingers, and then coming back down. Lovely. Let's do the other side. So straighten out the other leg behind you. And then straighten out. Oh, first lift it up. And then straighten out your arm. Hold it. And then come back. Now you can sit up, have a little wriggle, because sometimes our wrists can get a little bit sore. Now I'm going to show you the challenge, okay? You can choose to do what we just did. which is absolutely brilliant, and you can practice getting a little bit better at that. If you felt really comfortable with that, I'm going to give you a challenge. So what you're going to do is you're going to do the same thing we did before, which is straighten your leg, lift your leg, straighten out your arm, and this time you're going to scoot it round behind you and grab hold of your foot and then kick up. So this is a test of your balance. Use your drishti, just look at the floor, use your strength, and then come out with control. Back down the other side. I'll just quickly show you. Leg up, scoot your arm round, holding onto your foot, and then coming out. So let's do that together, guys. So get yourself set up. Don't rush it, please, because you're likely to not be able to balance. Remember, take your time, feel steady, use your breath, and let's go. Leg out straight, lift your leg, arm out straight, opposite arm, scoot it round if you want to, and grab hold of your foot. If you're staying where we were, that's fine. Hold it, and then come out with control and back down. Wow, how'd you get on? I hope you did well. If you gave it a go at all, well done. Let's try the other side. Foot out behind you, lift, opposite arm goes up, and then scoot your arm behind, catching hold of your foot, pushing up, looking forward, and then out we go with control. Oh, and let's push back into a child pose. This time make the knees nice and wide. Push right back, and your head goes to the floor. Taking deep breaths to steady your breath. Good, well done. I told you it was a challenge. And that was our first go at a balancing pose. So again, we had to be really focused and concentrating. So up we come. We're now going to do a standing balance pose. We did this one in the first video. This is tree pose, okay? So we're going to be using our standing leg to make us strong and really secure. So standing up tall, taking some deep breaths. You're just going to slowly start to go onto the tiptoe of one of your feet. So the foot that's on the floor straight, that leg is nice and strong. Let's start testing your balance. So you may feel this is enough for you. Just staying like this on your shin. Don't, just below your knee. Don't go on your knee, that's not good for you, but you can take hold of your foot and bring it right to the top of your leg. If you're like me, I've got very slippery trousers on, it's hard for me to keep it there. And then find your balance, take some deep breaths. And growing up your branches and out to the side, like a tree. Maybe try and close your eyes for a moment. Ooh, it's tricky. Coming back and to prayer. And then your knee comes forward, hands to your side and stepping down. Good, let's try that on the other side. So remember, it's going to be the other leg now that becomes like a tree trunk. Strong, straight. And we start to test our balance with the other foot. So peeling it off. Maybe we stay here, maybe we go just below the knee, or if we're feeling particularly balanced and we want to challenge, we can grab hold of our foot, pull it up nice and high, right to the top. I've got really slippy trousers on today, so it's pretty tricky. Holding it here, finding your balance, use your breath, calm breaths. If you breathe shallowly, you start to panic, calm breaths helps you to balance. Use your drishti, just looking at something that's not moving. Arms can go up and out. Closing your eyes for a moment. And then arms together into prayer. By your side, knee forward and down we come. Fantastic, well done. So that's tree pose. We've done it twice now, so we should be getting a bit better. Every time we try something again, we're practicing, we're getting better. So we're going to do gate pose now. So there's again a challenge in this pose. So first variation is just putting your knee up and holding it. Okay, so that's with your foot flexed, just testing our balance, taking some deep breaths. Second thing to try if you're feeling balanced is to open up the gate. So here we go. Use your other arm, can balance you. You can put it out. And if you feel really balanced, test your drishti. See if you can turn your drishti to your thumb. And just taking steady breaths wherever you are. And now turning your head, arm can come down, foot and leg come to the front, and then we step down. I'm going to do it on the other side before we try our challenge. So, taking some breaths, becoming balanced on one leg, really strong, flexing the foot. And when you're ready, remember opening the gate with your hand. You can help your knee along by pushing it out. Your thumb goes up, and then just ever so slowly turn your head to your thumb so your drishti changes. It's very challenging. Give it a go if you can, even for a moment, and then coming back to the center, arm down, leg forward, and then we come down. Right, if you're ready for a challenge, let's go for it. If you want to do the same again, please do. But otherwise, you can try a challenge. So this is the full pose here, the difficult version. If you want to give it a go, please do. And this is how we do it. So we bend our knee and we just take hold of our toes. So we find our balance, and then we can just start to straighten our leg. You might get here. If you want to, you can get right up to the top. Thumb goes out, and you look at your thumb for a moment, and then we come back out with control and back down. So that is challenging. If you just want to hold your toes, give that a go. Just start to straighten your leg a little bit. Each time we practice it, we get a little bit better. And it's really good for our focus, for our concentration. So let's try the other side. Grabbing hold of your big toe with the 2 fingers. Starting to straighten your leg. If you can get it all the way straight, do so. Looking at your thumb, your drishti. And then coming out, bending your leg and stepping down. Wow, well done. Give yourself a shake. So that is gate pose, another balancing pose. We're now going to do one more standing pose, which is flamingo. We did this before, so standing, you can do it with me. I won't show you this time. So standing tall, start to bend one of your knees, get strong and steady on the other, and grab hold of your foot behind you. And you may want to stay here, just testing your balance, or you may want to start tipping forward, okay? So if you're tipping forward, keep your back nice and straight, kicking your leg up, up, up into your foot, and then your other arm can come out ahead of you. So kicking, 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 and then coming out when you're ready. I'm going to turn around so you can see me better. You can stay where you are, just do the other side. So bending up your knee, just getting your balance here. This might be enough for you today. Some days we don't feel so balanced, or it can be a bit challenging. Whatever feels best for you. If this is what you want to do today, that's fine. If you feel like trying tipping, do so. Tipping and kicking into your foot. Trying to keep your chest pointing forwards, kicking up into your foot, arm goes forwards. Whoops, feeling a bit unbalanced on this side, so one side can often be different to the other. And then coming out, feet together. Good, well done. So we've done 3 standing poses there. We did tree, we did flamingo, and we've done gate as well. So well done. Right, let's come back down to the mat. So we're going to do a seated balance now, and it doesn't look very challenging, but it really is. And it's called boat pose. So with a boat pose, we're going to be sort of balancing with our feet off the floor and just sort of tipping. And we want to get them right, because if we go too far back, we can tip back. And if we go too far forward, we just tip forward. So it's about finding the perfect spot with boat and just being in the perfect balancing spot. So for boat, we can start by just tipping back and finding that spot by holding our knees, pointed toes, back is straight. And testing now without your hands. And now if you can start to straighten your knees, find that tipping balancing point, and then come back and hug your knees. Good. We'll do it one more time. It's a real challenge. You've got to use your stomach muscles, and it's really, really challenging. So it looks kind of easy, but it really isn't. So let's start again. Let's tip back. Find that point where we're just not too far back, because when we get too far back, we start to round our spine. So we want to keep a nice straight spine. Take some nice calming breaths. Ready for your challenge. Arms away. And starting to straighten the legs. Big straight legs. And then give your knees a big hug. Good. So we're going to do what's called bridge pose now. This isn't so much of a balance, but it really is good when we've been using our backs a lot, and it's just a really nice stretch at the end of our class. So coming down to your back, all the way down, and just relaxing for a moment. We can just let our legs go from side to side. We've done lots of challenging poses, and we're just slowing down now. So bring your heels as far towards your bottom as you can and put them down. Your hands are on the mat next to you, facing downwards. And with bridge pose, what you're going to be doing is pushing into your feet and peeling your spine off the floor. So you've got to pull your spine up as far as you can go, all the way onto the shoulders, and then just put your hands underneath you. So you're clasping, and you can kind of wiggle onto your shoulders here. Just hold it for a moment, really push into your legs. Do not turn your head, always keep looking up. And then take your hands out on your shoulders and roll your spine back down. Vertebra by vertebra, you want each bit of the spine to come down as slowly as possible. So we're going to do that one more time. So hands by your side, big breath in, big breath out. Next time you breathe in, push into your feet. Peel each part of your spine off the floor, push into your feet, hands clasped beneath you, and then sort of walk your shoulders under you, push into those feet, push into the hands, lift as high as you can, good, and then walk your shoulders out, hands down, and then roll your spine gently down the mat or onto the floor. Lovely, and then give your knees a lovely hug. And just rock gently side to side to side. And we're going to finish off with a twist as we did before. So I'd like you to put your feet on the floor and you're going to lift your hips up, move them over and then plonk them down. Good. And your knees are going to flop over the other way to your hips. Arms out in cactus and then looking the other way. So looking the opposite direction to your knees. Taking some deep breaths. Beautiful, lovely, calming back, hips to the center, lift them up again, shove them over to another side, plop them down, that's it, and your knees, they fall the other opposite way, and arms up, cactus shape, and looking the opposite way to your knees, and just relaxing, just let everything be heavy, taking some deep breaths in your twist, and relax. Good. Knees come up, hips come back to the center. Once again, hugging your knees, and this time you can use your momentum to get back up to sitting. Well done, everyone. So I'm going to come a bit closer to talk you through the relaxation you're going to do now. So I'm just going to scoot closer to the screen so you can hear me a bit better, see me a bit better. So I've got a little prop here to show you. Last week we did the belly breath, didn't we? And I talked about making your belly get bigger, and we did a breath where we tried to push our fingers apart, and then as we breathed out, they went back together. So I've got this, which is basically showing you the same thing. So when we're breathing in, we want to be making our bellies bigger. So as you breathe in, take a deep breath in, imagine the air going into your belly, making it bigger. And as you breathe out, it gets smaller again. So again, let's do that together. Big breath in. Hold it for a moment. And as you breathe out, the air leaves your belly and it gets smaller. One more time. You can put your hands on your belly if you'd like. Do what we did last time with your fingers together, pushing them apart together again. So one last huge belly breath. Breathe in. And breathe out. It's really important. I can't sort of just tell you how important it is, really, because it's so good for you learning to breathe like that. It really helps to calm everything, calm your brain, calm your body. So it's a really good skill to have. Okay, guys, so time for the nicest part of the class, which is lying down and doing Shavasana. So find your way to your back, lying down with your feet flopped open and straight out in front of you. Your hands are facing upwards next to you. So the palms are facing the ceilings, the backs of your hands are on the floor. And just lying there for a moment and shuffling a little bit just to get yourself comfy so you can really relax. Get yourself into a position where you feel super comfy and ready to relax. So take a bit of time to do this. Get yourself all cozy and comfortable. So we're going to do some breath awareness now. So we're really going to think about our breath and just try to focus on that and nothing else. And we're going to use a way of helping us to do that. So every time you breathe in, I want you just to say, breathing in. And as you breathe out, I just simply want you to say, breathing out. Okay, so you're going to just do that over and over again, and I'm going to time it. So it's just going to be minutes. It sounds really easy, doesn't it? But it's going to be tricky because your mind is going to want to wander off and thinking, oh, this is boring. When's it going to end? Or what am I doing after this? Or thinking about what happened earlier. But we are training our brains and our concentration. You know, we've done lots of lovely balancing poses to get our minds into focusing and concentrating. So if you do notice your mind wandering, don't worry, just bring it back and say again, breathing in, breathing out. And when you hear my bells, so I'll just ring them now so you know what they sound like. When you hear the bell, you're going to stop. Okay, so very simply, you're just saying breathing in as you breathe in, breathing out as you breathe out. That's all we're going to do. It's going to be 1 minute. And when you hear the bell, you're going to stop. If your mind wanders, just go back to saying breathing in and breathing out. In fact, I'm going to ring the bell for you to start, okay? So get yourself comfortable, just breathing normally. And once you hear the bell, just start with your sentences of breathing in as you breathe in and breathing out as you breathe out, and focusing on only that. Ready, preparing, and go. If you get distracted by someone next to you or a noise, just go back to you and what you're doing right now, which is focusing on your breath as it goes in and as it goes out. Noticing where your mind goes, but just don't go there, just come back to your breath. Training your mind to be where you want it to be, which is only being there for 1 minute, thinking of your breath in and out, just that. We're about halfway now, so just carry on, you're doing really well. Every time you get distracted, just come back to breathing in, breathing out. Giving your mind just a rest. Just keep the concentration going. Doing really well. Just coming back to normality, just letting the breath go and focusing on it. That was tricky, and I know it wasn't. A minute can feel really long when you're just there in silence or you're just trying to focus on one thing, but it's just practice. So don't worry if you got really distracted today. Sometimes we feel in a really good mood to be able to focus, and other times our minds are a bit scattered. So don't worry, even if you manage to do one breathing in and one breathing out, that was good. So well done. So just now, before we finish, I just want you to lie on your backs, feeling heavy and relaxed. And we're just going to go around the body, giving each part a little squeeze and releasing. So I'd like you to start with your toes and your feet. Give them a bit of a squeeze as you breathe in, hold and squeeze. And as you breathe out, release, relax. Now your legs. Squeeze the muscles in your legs as you breathe in, Hold and squeeze, and then breathe out as you relax and release. And now we'll move up sort of to the back and the shoulder area. So squeezing your shoulders up to your ears as you breathe in and squeezing the back of your back. And then breathe out as you relax. Now your arms and your hands. So as you breathe in, squeeze your hands and your arms. And as you release, breathe out. Now our faces, there's a lot of muscles in our faces. So as you breathe in, squeeze the muscles in your face. Squeeze, 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 and breathing in and release and relax as you breathe out. And now let's do that for our whole body. So breathe in and squeeze every muscle in your body. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And breathe out, relax every single muscle in your body. Just relax it so that it is floppy, everything is loose, and nothing is tight. You're not holding on to anything, just relaxing. Brilliant. All right, now start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. And when you're ready, rolling over onto one side and giving your knees a hug. Big hug, squeeze your knees. And then pushing yourself up to a seated position. Nice and tall, as if somebody's pulling a thread so you're stretched up high. Hands can just be resting on your knees. Taking a few nice deep belly breaths. Good, and hands come to prayer position. This is called Anjali Mudra. Mudra means we're doing a position with our hands. So this is Anjali Mudra. Taking a deep breath in, sitting up nice and tall, and breathing out, bowing your head down, and we say Namaste, which means thank you. So thank you so much for joining me. You're thanking me for teaching you and leading you through yoga, and you're thanking yourself, most importantly, because you have done a brilliant job, and hopefully you're feeling a little bit calmer and more relaxed. And remember, if you ever feel yourself getting a bit fizzy and tizzy, take some deep breaths. That's the most important thing you can do. Take those nice deep belly breaths to help you feel calmer. And I hope you have a brilliant rest of your day and hopefully feeling a little bit nicer and calmer now. And I look forward to seeing you next time on the next video. So goodbye for now. Have a nice day.